And then if everybody just wants to find their way to the top of their mat in mountain pose here. Again, we can shake it out. You can rock back and forth, whatever you need to do here. To find your center, maybe we roll our shoulders back and down, maybe even a couple times. I know I was carrying groceries in, so this feels really good. Beautiful. And then finding stillness just for a breath or two, really rooting down through our feet as we rise up to the sky with the crown of our head. Palms can be forward, ready to receive, or we can have them just on the sides of our legs, whatever feels more comfortable for you and more natural here. You can close your eyes or soften your gaze. And we're just going to take a couple cleansing breaths to start. So inhaling slowly through the nose, filling up all the spaces that you can while standing. And really exhale it all out audibly, loud, let it go. One more time, nice big inhale. And really exhale, pushing everything out that no longer serves you. Getting rid of all that stale oxygen and energy. And just focusing on your breath here for a few moments. Maybe you can feel your chest and your shoulders rise and fall. Maybe your belly expands. Maybe you can even feel the breath go all the way into the back of the body here. Noticing how grounded your feet feel on your mat. Maybe noticing what parts of your feet feel a little more grounded and sturdy than others. Just observing here. Focusing back on our breath now. Maybe it feels warm or cold as you inhale and exhale. Maybe you're already nice and calm and it's nice and slow, or maybe it's quicker and you're ready for movement. Both are fine. Just observing. And in our next few breaths, we're gonna slowly start to wake ourselves back up. Maybe we flutter our eyes open. We can wiggle our fingers and our toes. Maybe we look from side to side, nice and slow, warming up our neck here. Beautiful, coming back to center, finding some sun breaths here. Inhaling nice and slow up to the sky. And exhaling down through heart center. Inhaling nice and slow. And exhaling down through heart center. Inhaling again, nice and slow. And as we exhale, finding that cactus back bend, if that feels okay. Really squeezing our shoulder blades together, opening up the front of the body here. Hands can also be at heart center if that feels better for you. Beautiful, inhaling our arms up to the sky. And then as we exhale, twisting open to the left, trying to keep our hips square, but if they're moving, that's okay too. Beautiful, circling this left arm around, reaching our arms up, and exhale, twisting to the right. Beautiful, inhaling our arms up to the sky. And then as we exhale, hands down through heart center, as we hinge at our hips, finding a forward fold, bowing in here. Holding this forward fold for a breath or two, lengthening out our hamstrings, really bending our knees to the tops of our bodies, really rooted here. You can find a little bit of movement or maybe stillness feels good. Rocking side to side. And we're gonna shake our head yes, and then no, and yes again. Just releasing any tension from our neck this morning. Inhale, find our halfway lift, hands on shins or thighs. Exhale, bending our knees forward, fold. Rooting down through our feet as we rise up to the sky. And exhaling down to mountain. Inhaling up to the sky. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Beautiful. Holding this for another breath or two. Rooting down through our feet as we rise up to the sky. And exhaling, finding our mountain pose. Beautiful. Sorry, I'm really dry today. We're going to inhale up to the sky. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Halfway lift. Exhale, fold, planting our hands left foot to the back of that mat to start. Find a runner's lunge, really opening up. You can lower that left knee already if that feels better. You can also heel toe out the right foot. High on our fingertips here, heart shining forward. And if that left knee isn't lowered, we're gonna lower that down. You can untuck your toes if you like, rising up, low lunge here. Really opening up the legs and the hip flexors. Beautiful. Exhale, folding forward, left wrist underneath left shoulder, opening to the right. Circling that right arm around, right knee meets left. We're gonna find a child's pose. Beautiful. We're gonna inhale, float forward like a wave to our kneeling plank, or maybe you're already ready for full plank. That's completely up to you. And we're gonna find 4 chaturanga push-ups. So again, if a chaturanga push-up is not in your practice, pulling our belly button into spine, core is nice and strong here, shoulders over wrists. We can just hold this, flow back to child's. If not, we're gonna inhale here. As we exhale, lower halfway down, elbows into ribs, pressing up and back, child's pose. Beautiful, moving nice and slow. 3 more here. Two. Last one here. Beautiful, press back to our child's pose for a breath. Inhale, floating forward like a wave to our kneeling plank. Tuck our toes, lift our hips up and back, downward facing dog. Beautiful. First downward facing dog of the day. Again, bending our knees. We can pedal that out, finding any movement we need here. Slowly lengthening the back of our legs. And finding stillness for a breath. We're gonna bend our knees, walk our feet to the top of the mat, finding forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, rooting down, rising up to the sky. Exhaling, mountain. Beautiful, inhaling up. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Halfway lift. Exhale, fold, planting our hands, reaching the right foot to the back of the mat, this time finding that runner's lunge or lowering our knee, high on our fingertips, heart shining forward. Beautiful, we can lower that right knee and untuck our toes, rising up, low lunge here. Exhale, folding forward, right wrist under right shoulder, opening to the left. Circling that left arm around, left knee meets right, finding a child's pose. Inhaling forward like a wave to our kneeling plank, or perhaps your full plank, and we're gonna find 4 more of those chaturanga push-ups if that's in your practice. Inhaling here, exhale, lowering halfway, elbows into ribs, pressing up and back. Beautiful. 3 more here, shoulders over wrists. 2 more. Beautiful. Last one. Pressing up and back to our child's pose for a breath. We're going to inhale, float forward to our kneeling plank, tucking our toes, lifting our hips up and back, downward facing dog. Bending our knees, walking our feet to the top of the mat, finding that forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, rooting down, rising up to the sky. And exhaling, mountain. Beautiful. We're going to make our way to the mat, and we're going to do a little bit of series with side planks. You might want to move one weight, or you can have no weight, just into the middle of the mat, so it's just a little bit more accessible. If you're not using weights, that's cool too. And then making our way back to mountain pose, inhaling up to the sky. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Halfway lift. Exhale, fold, planting our hands, stepping back into our tabletop. Beautiful, fingertips spread nice and wide. And just finding a couple rounds of cat-cow here in your own perfect pace. Stretching everything out. Beautiful, one more time through. And then meeting in that neutral spine, we're gonna pivot our right foot off the mat, keeping the toes tucked, right wrist underneath our right shoulder, left foot extending, right arm reaches up to the sky. Beautiful, our right hand, or our left hand, sorry, our left hand can stay up to the sky, or it can go just behind our head, whatever feels better for you. Left toes are flexed, my goodness. We're gonna try to keep that left toe, big toe pointed down, and we're gonna lift and lower that left leg for 8. Really nice and slow, feeling this in your glutes here. 7, 6, again, this hand can go wherever feels more comfortable. 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Beautiful. We're going to lower that left foot down. Now you have one of two options. You can grab the weight with your left hand, extend that up. We're going to reach that left hand over our head bicep a little bit more by our ear. Palm is a little bit more facing down. Lifting that left leg, we're going to bring our elbow into our knee here. You can also have no weight. Beautiful. For 8, really pulling it in. 7, again, you can drop that weight at any time. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Beautiful. Reaching that up, lowering that left foot, left arm extending up to the sky. We're going to bring the left elbow inside the body here. And we're just going to open this up, keeping the top of the arm on the side of our body the entire time. So opening and lower for 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Beautiful. We're going to lower that weight to the mat. We're going to bring the left knee to meet the right, untucking our toes. We're going to walk our hands over to the right just a little bit as we lower our hips back, just stretching out that side body. Beautiful, rising back up, and we're gonna find that series on the other side. So making our way into supported side plank on the left. Left toes are tucked, left wrist underneath our left shoulder. Again, we can just rise up here to start. And we're gonna do that lower and lift with our leg, left big toe pointing down. So we're really working the outside of the glute area here. Lift and lower for 8. And again, it doesn't have to lift very high for you to feel this turn on. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Beautiful. Lower that down. Again, we can grab the weight or you can do no weight for this one. Reaching this right arm up to the sky to start. And then reaching it a little bit forward, palm almost facing down, bicep by our ear. Lifting that right leg, bringing the elbow into knee, straightening that out for 7 more. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Beautiful. Lowering that right leg. We're going to bring this weight in beside the side body, elbow staying rooted onto the side body, palm facing in to start. And we're just going to show our palm and lower for 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Beautiful. We can lower that weight, bring the right knee in to meet the left again, untuck our toes, walking our hands over to the left just a little bit as we lower our hips down towards our heels. Beautiful. Coming back to center. We're going to make our way to the top of the mat. You can move your weight around if that's more accessible for you. Fingertips spread nice and wide, tucking our toes, lifting our hips up and back, downward facing dog. Beautiful. And we're going to flow from our plank to downward facing dog, really flossing out our shoulders, working our core here. So high on our toes as we roll forward like a wave, shoulders over wrists to plank or kneeling plank, lifting our hips up and back, downward facing dog. Beautiful. A nice slow roll forward like a wave and lifting back up. 3 more of those, rolling forward and lift. 2 more. Beautiful. Rolling forward, hinging our hips up and back. Downward facing dog. We're going to roll forward 1 more time and we're going to hold our plank or our kneeling plank. Shoulders over wrist, pulling our shoulder blades away from our body, bringing in the right knee and then the left. Beautiful. For 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. Hinging our hips up and back, downward facing dog. Bending our knees, walking our feet to the top of the mat, finding forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, rooting down, rising up to the sky. And exhaling, mountain pose. Finding mountain pose for a breath, maybe grabbing a sip of water. And then we're going to start in mountain pose, finding our chair. So grabbing our weights, bending our knees, making sure we're nice and safe here. Beautiful. We can bring our feet closer together if that feels better for you. Hands starting at heart center, lowering our hips into that imaginary chair. Beautiful. We're going to find our chair squats, lifting and lowering for 8, 7, really squeezing our glutes at the top. 6, probably 5, not good at IT or counting apparently. 3, 2, 1, hold it down in our chair, pulse it down for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, beautiful. We're gonna find a tricep kickback. So elbows into the side body, palms facing in. And as we kick our elbow or arms back straight, palms facing in, beautiful. We're gonna root into the right foot as we reach the left foot back, bring it back up, toes just gentle on the mat, beautiful, for 8, 7, 6, that right glute should be talking, 4, or maybe it's just mine, 3, beautiful, 2, 1, hold our chair, finding that on the other side. So bending our elbows to start, palms facing in, reaching that right foot back as we extend our arms. 7, right toes nice and gentle. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Beautiful, we can rise up out of that. And before we move into our lunges, we're gonna do this one that we did last week, hands at heart center to start. I'm just facing you for instruction, rooting into our left foot, right foot extending, keeping that right toe down the entire time, lifting and lowering that right leg for 10. Again, this same movement, but we're standing this time, really engaging our glutes here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. You can shake that out if you need to. I'm finding that on the other side, really good to the right foot, left toes extending, left toe to pointing down for 10, 9, 8, and only moving as much as your body isn't really moving around here. 5, 4, slight micro bend in the right leg. 2, last one, beautiful. Left foot meets right. Again, we can shake that out. Coming to the top of the mat, we're going to reach our left foot back to start, finding our lunge. Hands starting in the middle here, elbows into the side body. We're going to do our half curl, palms facing up, lowering that left knee, rising up, keeping our elbows in line with our wrists to start. Beautiful, lowering, lift. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. Rising up to our crescent lunge. Hands can go at heart center. What we're going to do is we're really going to root into our right foot. We're going to move our left foot anywhere from about 4 to 6 inches to the right, and then back to our crescent lunge. So we're really using the right leg and the right glute here. Again, you can find a shorter stance crescent lunge if you need to. Rooting to the right foot, we're going to bring the left toes to the right and back to center. Beautiful. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. Find our crescent lunges for a breath, and then we're going to bring that left foot over behind the right or a little bit more to the right, finding our curtsy lunge. Elbows into the side body again, palms facing each other. And we're going to do a lateral reach here. So we're going to lower down, rise up, elbows in line with the shoulders, and lower. I'll face you to start. Woo! It's a little slippery on the floor here. Beautiful. Lowering for 8. Bringing those elbows in line with the shoulders. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Beautiful. Lowering that down, pulsing that down for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. Rooting into our right foot as we bring the left foot to meet the right, finding our mountain pose. Again, we can shake this out a little bit here. Beautiful. Rooting into the left foot, finding that flow on the other side, reaching the right foot back. Finding that crescent lunge to start. Ooh, I'm wobbly. This time we're gonna lower our arms all the way down, palms facing forward, reaching them halfway up. Beautiful, lowering that right leg, lifting halfway. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Beautiful, rising up, hands to heart center, rooting into the left foot as we bring the right toes to the left and to center. 7, trying to keep all the weight in the left foot. 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Beautiful. And then finding that curtsy lunge on the other side. Again, the same movement with our arms, elbows into the ribs, palms facing each other, lowering that right leg, lifting our elbows in line with the shoulders. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Beautiful, lowering that down, hands to heart center, pulse it down for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Beautiful, rise up, bringing that right foot to meet the left, mountain pose. We can drop our weights here for a few breaths. Maybe we grab a sip of water. Beautiful, starting in our mountain pose here, resetting everything, inhaling up to the sky. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, planting our hands, stepping back into downward facing dog, or maybe we find tabletop. Inhale, floating forward like a wave to plank or kneeling plank. Lowering all the way to our bellies or halfway, upward facing dog or cobra. Beautiful, rising back up, finding our downward facing dog. Pedaling this out for a breath or two. Inhaling our right leg to the sky. Exhale, rounding in, bringing that right foot between our hands. We're gonna grab our weights before we rise up if that's accessible. Rising up. Crescent lunge, and then we're gonna pivot that left foot, finding a warrior 2. Now this warrior 2, we're gonna be flowing from warrior 2 to crescent lunge. So while normally I would say heel to heel or heel to arch, you might want it to be right heel behind the left heel, just because we are going to be moving and you want to stay stable, right? And we don't want to move too much in our hips or cause injury. Beautiful. Reaching our arms out to either side, elbows bent, palms facing forward. And then I'll show you, we're gonna pivot that left foot as we reach the left arm forward. And then exhale, opening back up to warrior two. This is a lot on your shoulders and your arms. You can drop your weights at any time. Beautiful, we're gonna do that for 7 more. Exhale, pivot open. Beautiful. 6, nice and slow. Opening up. 5, 4. Again, drop your weights at any time. 3, I lowered my weights today. 2. Last one here. Opening back up, find our warrior two. Left hand to left hip, right arm extending, exalted warrior, just for a breath here. Hands back to heart center, opening up warrior two, palms facing up this time, elbows still bent. Pulsing our palms up to the sky for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Beautiful, holding that. Straightening the right leg as we curl those in. Beautiful. For 8, lunging and lowering at the same time as a bicep curl. 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Beautiful, rising up, hands to heart center, lunging into that right leg, pivoting that left foot. Woo, finding crescent lunge. We're gonna lower our weights to the mat, planting our hands, our right foot meets left, downward facing dog. Again, we can pedal this out. We can hold our downward facing dog, or if we'd like to find a flow, inhaling, floating forward like a wave, plank or kneeling plank. Halfway or all the way to the mat. Upward facing dog or cobra. Beautiful, and then leaning back, downward facing dog. Beautiful, left arm, left leg extending this time. Exhale, rounding in, bringing that left foot in between our hands, grabbing the weights if that's accessible. Knowing you don't need them either. Beautiful, and then opening up, finding warrior two on the other side. Again, opening up our stance a little bit here. Arms forward and back, palms forward, elbows bent. Pivoting that right foot as we bring this right arm to the front, opening back up. Beautiful, 6 more. 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Woo! Beautiful, opening up here. Right hand to our right hip, left arm extending, exalting our warrior. Hands to heart center, opening up warrior two, palms facing up this time, pulsing up for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Beautiful, keeping our palms up, straightening that left leg as we curl in and lower. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Beautiful, opening up here, hands to heart center, pivoting that right foot, lowering our weights to the mat or to the ground, planting our hands, downward facing dog, or finding a child's pose or tabletop. Beautiful, finding one more flow here, inhaling, floating forward like a wave, lowering down or halfway, upward facing dog or cobra. And we're gonna meet in a child's pose for a breath or two. Beautiful. Rising up, we're gonna make our way into the middle of the mat here. Beautiful. Lowering ourselves down. Sits bones rooted on the mat, feet on the mat, knees are bent. Again, you can grab your weights or no weights, whichever feels more comfortable for you. Hands starting at heart center, belly button into spine, lowering back until we feel that core engagement. Again, you can stay here, or we can do a twist from side to side. Beautiful, lowering the left elbow and then the right. for 11, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. Coming back to center. We can lower one weight if we'd like, or you can still hold on to two. Again, lots of different options here. If you want to just lower halfway, then rise up, you can. Or we're going to keep our feet planted, knees bent, lowering all the way, not lowering our shoulders. Rising up. Beautiful. Finding 8 of those, whichever variation. Beautiful. Lower. Rising up. Again, we don't have to use the weight. Or you can use 2 weights, whatever feels better for you. 5, 4, 3, 2. Beautiful. Last one. Rising up out of that, we can lower our weights to this side. We're going to walk our feet in a little bit. We're going to wrap our arms around our legs, spine nice and tall to start, and then chin to chest. Beautiful. Rising up out of that, and we're going to lower all the way down to our backs. We can hug one knee in and then the other, knees to chest for a breath. And then we're going to lower our feet to the mat, finding our bridge pose. Again, you do not have to use the weights. If you'd like, you can place the weights just above your hip creases here. Elbows and knees. Knees and hips are in alignment here. And we're just going to lift and lower for 10, 9. Trying not to let our bums go all the way down to the mat. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one, we're going to hold it up and pulse up for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. Lowering all the way down to the backs there. We're going to find those skull crusher tricep extension with a bridge this time. So palms facing each other, reaching our wrists above our shoulders. And you can remember this one, we're just bending our elbows, bringing the weights towards our head, trying not to hit ourselves in our head. I've done that once. Beautiful. So we're going to do that for 8. So we're going to lower our weights to our head. And as we lift our weights back up to the sky, we're going to find a bridge pose. We're going to lower our weights, try not to lower our bums all the way to the mat, rise back up. For 8 more of those, nice and slow. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. Lowering down, elbows into the side body. We're going to bring our elbows in line with our shoulders, finding our goalpost arms here. Now your bum can stay lowered the entire time, or you can lift it up just a little bit, a couple inches off the mat. And then we're going to reach our arms up to the sky, following the line of the middle of our chest here. Weights together, palms facing forward, lowering our elbows all the way down to the ground, or almost all the way down to the ground before we lift back up. Beautiful. Finding 10, 9. Again, our bum can be lowered. 7, 6. Really opening up wide with our chest here. 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one. Beautiful. Lowering that down. We're going to find one more laying down here. We're going to work our lats, which is that huge muscle in the back of your body, which is really hard to do without weights and pulleys in a gym. But we're going to do this one. We're going to reach our arms up to the sky, palms facing each other. We're going to try to grab the weights together. Now, if this is not accessible, you can also use just one weight, holding on to both sides of it, depending on the weight that you have and how your arms and body feels right now. If we have 2, we're going to squeeze them together so they stay close together. Slight micro bend in our arms. We're going to reach our arms over our head, almost like we're trying to drop the weight down to the mat or to the ground, and then rising back up to the mid chest line. Beautiful. Finding 11 more of those, nice and slow. Again, making sure that our low back stays rooted and our low ribs stay on the mat. So if you feel your ribs lifting off the mat, just don't go down as far over your head. Beautiful. Let's try 5 more because I lost count. 4. You might also feel your triceps coming on here as well. 3, 2. Beautiful. Last one. Beautiful. Lowering that down. We can drop our weights to either sides of our body. We can hug our knees into our chest. We can rock side to side here. Beautiful. Lowering our feet to the mat, reaching our right or our left arm over our head, rolling over onto our side body, pressing up, and we're just going to find a seated. We're going to stretch out our shoulders before we move around. Beautiful. Reaching our right arm up to the sky, bending that elbow, right hand towards the back of our body, and then our left arm just underneath that right elbow. We can just pull that up back a little bit here. Maybe stretching to the left feels good too. Beautiful. Coming back to center, shaking that out. We're going to cross our right arm over our body, palm to back, and then either just holding on below the right elbow, or we can hook that left arm on. Beautiful. And finding that cow face pose on the other side, reaching that left arm up, bending that left elbow, left palm towards the back shoulder, and then holding on to wherever feels good on the bottom or that tricep there. Again, you can tilt a little bit to the right if that feels good. Beautiful. Releasing out of that, we can shake that out. Left arm over our body, left palm to the back, and then hugging that in wherever is comfortable for you. Trying to keep that left arm as straight as possible. So we're stretching out the shoulder here. Beautiful. Letting that go and making our way into our tabletop pose. Spine is nice and tall. Inhaling to the back body, and then as we exhale, tailbone lowers, belly arching forward. Oh my goodness. Exhale, rounding into the chest, cat pose. Hopefully you're laughing as much as me as I am as myself. Beautiful. 2 more times here. Beautiful. Lowering that down, knees to the edge of the mat, big toes touch, sitting back on our heels, walking our hands forward, finding a child's pose. Maybe we roll out our wrists while we're here if that feels good. We can also release our wrists beside our legs, letting go of our shoulders. Beautiful. And in our next few breaths, we're going to walk our hands up back towards inner knees, making our way to kneeling, and then tabletop pose. Tucking our toes, lifting our hips up and back, downward facing dog. Inhaling our right leg to the sky. Exhale, rounding in as we bring that foot between our hands, finding our runner's lunge, then lowering that left knee, rising up here. Beautiful. Exhale, hinging forward, walking our hands back, straightening that right leg, finding that half split. Again, we can round in, or maybe it feels better just to keep that back straight. Noticing what stretch your body needs right now. Beautiful. Walking our hands forward, fingertips spread nice and wide. Right knee meets left. Tabletop, tucking our toes, lifting our hips up and back, downward facing dog. Inhaling our left leg to the sky, this time rounding in, bringing that left foot in between our hands, runner's lunge, lowering that knee, rising up. Exhale, folding forward, walking our hands back, straightening that left leg, flexing those toes, again, rounding in or finding a flat back. Beautiful, planting that foot, walking our hands forward, left knee meets right, tabletop, fingertips spread nice and wide, tucking our toes, lifting our hips up and back, downward facing dog. Again, we can pedal this out maybe, rock our hips side to side. And then you can stay here. You can find one final flow, inhaling, floating forward like a wave plank or a kneeling plank, lowering halfway or all the way down. Inhaling up, cobra or upward facing dog. And then making our way into downward facing dog. Bending our knees, walking our feet to the top of the mat, finding that forward fold, really letting go here, head nice and heavy, really rooting onto the top of our body, onto the top of our thighs. We can hold into opposite elbows. Maybe we rock side to side. Beautiful, finding center. Inhale, halfway lift, holding this halfway lift for a breath or two, really reaching the sits bones to the back of the mat, spine nice and tall. Exhale, bending our knees forward, fold, rooting down, rising up to the sky. Exhale, finding that cactus back bend. Inhaling up. Exhaling down through heart center. Beautiful. Inhaling up to the sky. Exhale, twisting open to the left. Left arm up. Reaching up. Opening to the right. Beautiful. Circling this right arm around. Reaching up. Hands to heart center. Beautiful. Finding two last breath together here. Maybe we even bend our knees a little bit here. Inhaling up nice and slow. And exhaling down through heart center. One more time. Inhaling nice and slow up to the sky. And exhaling our hands down through heart center. Thank you so much for joining me again this week. I hope you get to enjoy the beautiful sunshine that is out there today. The love and the light in me truly sees and honors the love and the light in each of you. Namaste. Thanks, ladies.
Thanks very much. See ya.
Bye.
Thanks, Laura.
Thanks, Laura. That was